Good morning, my math students. Today we are going to continue to explore finding the area and the perimeter of composite figures in the coordinate plane. Before we start our lesson, what I'd like to do is I'd like to review with you the answers to last night's homework assignment. So last night's homework assignment looked like this, where you had to plot, label, and connect the points and find the perimeter and the area on the graph paper. So this is what it should have looked like. When you plotted your points, I labeled all of them. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. And then you're supposed to connect all of them in order, and then you finally connect H, the last point, to the first point. I labeled all around the figure the length of the line segments. So this is 4, this was 3, this was 2, 9, 8, 9, 2, 3. The way you could find the distances is either you can count the number of units between them, or you can use the coordinates. For example, A goes from a -2 to a +2. So when you add the absolute values of -2 and +2, you get 4. For example, GF, this line segment right here, goes from 5 down to -4. That's 9 units. F to E goes from -4 to +4, and that's 8 units across. So when you add all those red numbers that I circled on the outside to find the perimeter, you get 40 units. I separated my figure with this line segment right here. You didn't have to do that. You could have drawn other lines going down and separated it into 3 rectangles. The way I did it, my area of my top rectangle was 4 times 3, which is 12. And the area of the bottom one is 9 times 8, which is 72. And when I add those areas together, I get 84 units squared. So that was the answer to the homework sheet from last night. Make sure you take it out. If you don't have it in front of you, hit pause. Make sure you take it out and you go over these answers and you correct them, and you email me if you have any questions at all. Okay, now we're going to start, and before we start our lesson, you need to print out the graph paper that I attached to the lesson for today. Okay, so once again, we're going to review composite figures. A composite figure is a figure that is made up of 2 or more two-dimensional figures. For example, before we even explore the composite figures, again, area is the number of square units I could fit inside of a figure. So again, I showed you this yesterday, and I'm reviewing it again today. I could fit 7 across, and I could fit 4 going down. So 7 times 4 would mean that there would be 28 blue squares or green squares, whatever color that is, inside of this figure. Perimeter is the distance around, so I would add 7 plus 4 plus 7 plus 4 to find the perimeter. Okay, again, this is what a composite figure looks like, and you can separate it any way you'd like in order to find the area. To find perimeter, you just add up all these sides. But you have to be careful because you have to add up this, you have to add up this side. You know, picture a person walking all around this figure. You have to add up all these sides. For the area, I can choose to separate this figure if I wanted to this way. Okay, I can even separate it 3 ways if I wanted to, and I would find the area of this figure, which I'll label, I will label for you number 1, number 2, and number 3. Or you can make this one just one whole big square if you wanted to. So there's so many different ways to do it, and as long as you do it correctly, then that's fine. Okay, so have the graph paper in front of you, and I want you to follow these directions. I want you to plot and label these points. I want you to connect them in this order, just like we did yesterday. So A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F, and then F back to A. I want you to find the perimeter and the area of the figure. So you're doing that on the first piece of graph, the first graph that's on your graph paper, hit pause, and you'll come back to the answer. Okay, so here is my answer for my perimeter. I'm going to show you each one separately. So first of all, I graphed and labeled the points. Make sure you did it correctly. Okay, this point right here is D, this is C, B, A, this is E right here, and F. And then on the outside, I wrote the units. So AF, this line segment is 10 units, AB is 9 units, BC is 7 units, CD is 7 units, DE is 3 units, and EF is 2. And when I add up all those blue numbers, I get 38 units for my perimeter. Okay, hit pause if you need to just look at that one more time. I'm going to go on to the area. Okay, so for the area, I separated my figure this way. You didn't have to. You could have separated another way too. I found the area of this rectangle up here, which was 9 times 7, which is 63. Then I found the area of this rectangle down here, which is 3 times 2, which is 6. And when I add 63 plus 6, I get 69. Okay, go to the next piece of graph paper on your worksheet. I want you to graph and connect these points and find the perimeter and the area. Please hit pause, and when you come back, you'll see the answer. Okay, so here's the answer for the perimeter. The perimeter answer should have been 32 units. I graphed my points. Make sure you graph them correctly. Okay, if you graph one point incorrectly, everything's going to be wrong, so you got to be careful. I added 8 units plus 4 units plus this right here is 4 units. This is 4 units, 4 units again, and 8 units again. And when I add all those numbers together, I get 32 units. That's for the perimeter. For the area, I drew a line going horizontally right here to separate it. I found the area of this top rectangle, which was 8 times 4, which is 32. If you notice, if you count the number of square units inside of this, there are 32 because there are 8 across and 4 up. This bottom rectangle, actually it's a square. It's a length and width of 4 and 4. Right here, 4 is the width and 4 is the length, is 16. And when I add those numbers together, I get 48 square units. Okay, I'd like you to graph and label and connect these points right here on the next piece of graph paper and find the area and perimeter. Hit pause. Okay, so here is my figure. I labeled the number of units going all around. So this line segment was 10, this is 7, and again, the way I get my number of units is I say it goes from 0 to 7, which makes this 7 units. This goes from 0 to 10, which makes this 10 units. This goes from 0 to 7, which makes this 7 units, and so on. This was 3, this was 3, this is 4, this is 3 right here, so this number 3. And this was also 3. Okay, when I add up all the numbers outside, I get 40 units for my perimeter. For my area, I drew a line going vertically this way right here. I inserted this line. I found the area of this rectangle, which was 4 times 3 is 12. This rectangle is 70. And when I add 70 plus 12, I get 82 square units. If you got it wrong, hit pause. Maybe you graphed one of these points incorrectly. I labeled all of them. This is F, this point is G, E, D, so on. So hit pause and really take the time to do a nice job in correcting your mistake if you got it wrong. Okay, go to the next piece of graph paper, the next graph on your worksheet. We're going to do one more. Okay, so on this one, I'm telling you right now that it's going to be a trapezoid. So you might have to look up the formula for the area of a trapezoid. And you're going to graph it, connect it, find the area. So in case you forgot the area, you might want to write this down. The area of a trapezoid is you're going to add the bases, multiply that by the height, and divide by 2. So I'll say that one more time. You're going to add the bases together first, multiply that answer by the height, divide by 2. In this example, you do not have to find the perimeter. You only have to find the area. So I might have said the wrong thing a minute ago. You're only finding the area, not the perimeter. Okay, hit pause, and when you come back, you'll see the answer. Okay, so here is my trapezoid. This is what it looked like. AB went from a -4 to a +3, so that was 7 units across. My height went from a +4 all the way down to a -5, so that was 9 units high is my height. The length of CD, my bottom base, went from a -7 to a +8, which is 15 units. So here's my formula. I add 7 plus 15, that's 22. I times 22 times 9. When you multiply 22 times 9, you get 198. When you divide 198 by 2, you get 99, and it's units squared because it's area. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about tonight's homework. Tonight's homework looks like this. You're going to plot and label all these points and connect them in order. So it says right here, plot and label the following points on the graph paper below. Connect the points in the order they are given. Connect the last point to the first point. So that means you're going to connect this last point L back to A. So this is the order you connect them. Okay, you're going to find the area and the perimeter. So this is the graph paper you're going to use. And when you come back next time for the next video, you will see the answer to the homework problems. All right, so boys and girls, feel free to go back to any problem you want. I'm going to just do a quick review. So what we did was we plotted the points and labeled them. Labeling them helps you to find mistakes. And then I plotted them, labeled them, found the area and perimeter by finding the units all around for the perimeter, and then separating it into different figures to find the area and adding those areas together. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me and let me know. I hope that you're finding these videos helpful, and I will keep them coming. And please make sure that you do your homework for tonight. Email me with any questions that you have. Feel free to even reach out to classmates and say, hey, what'd you get for the area? What'd you get for the perimeter? Because obviously, like I always say in class, you should all have the same answer. So if you and another person got a different answer, you know that one of you did it wrong, and maybe you can compare answers. And then when you come back to the next video, I will show you the answer. Okay, boys and girls, I hope everybody's doing well, staying healthy. Once again, I miss you. I miss teaching you these lessons in person. And that's it for now. Good luck on your homework, and I will see you on the next video. Have a great day.